And we're back with Blast of Process 3 on the ESA channel, continuing the Shinobi love with The Revenge of Shinobi, run by BusterMan with Dagran for co-commentary.
Hey.
Hello, hello, hello.
So yes, The Revenge of Shinobi. You are watching pretty much the second place runner here. He actually recently overtook me, and he's only a couple seconds behind the world record right now. So I mean, you're gonna see pretty much the best that the game has in store for you. So I hope I don't put too much pressure on BusterMan there.
You're good, dude.
Okay.
The game is running SDA time, which is start time on gaining control. But since, marathon and whatnot, I'm just going to run my own timer. And I guess we'll compare the two after we're done here, so I'm ready whenever.
Actually, I'll discuss the difficulties over the course of the run, so, yeah. Ready when you are.
Want to count down?
Alright. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Alright, good luck.
Thank you.
Alright, so Revenge of Shinobi has 8 levels, and each of them contain 3 sections, with the third section being the boss fight. And what's especially really important is this power-up that BusterMan just picked up there. And he'll kind of hold this stance, and it actually deflects projectiles that are thrown at him as long as he maintains this posture. And it's pretty important that he does not lose his power-up, and that's kind of a large sticking point with the speedrun, because any hit you take, you will lose this power-up, which makes this one of those kind of speedruns where a mistake becomes quite critical, especially since without the power-up you do such minuscule damage. And it's also especially a sticking point with the difficulty we're playing on, which is the hardest difficulty. You'll notice that BusterMan is starting with 0 lives, so he can't even use the suicide ninjutsu as a backup if he does get hit at any point in this level. There is hidden power-ups like in the previous Shinobi game that was featured, but I believe we are past all the potential power-ups that we can pick up. So BusterMan's going to hopefully hold on to this, and he does a good job of that in level 1.
There are some backups in case things go wrong, but yeah.
Yeah. So the first boss, yeah, he's it looks kind of sketchy how he does that quick kill, but the sword is your sword is kind of out there for a little bit, just long enough to land those hits. And well, I guess when that guy actually takes a hit, it cuts out like certain animations of him throwing down the sword. It looks like he is throwing the sword down, and it looks like it should be hitting you, but it's not really. Alright, so this screen here with the waterfall, this is usually where you will see the difference between the pros and people a little more new to the game. You can actually, if you do that screen the exact same way, you'll force the log patterns to be the exact same way, but it's kind of hard because most people's inclination is to react to the projectiles getting thrown at them, and usually they'll probably do something different in order to recover the power-up. Of course, like I said, in the top level play, or at top level with this game, you want to hold on to this power-up for the entirety of the run. Like, that's how important and crucial this power-up really is. So yeah, that screen is not really anything worth talking about. This boss, though, beautiful kill there. Yeah, so that boss actually has a whole bunch of shadow clones, and the thing with that spray and pray attack, basically the mid-air shuriken attack, you can actually keep pressing attack, and you'll rapid throw a whole bunch of kunai. Sorry. Shuriken, kunai, whatever you want to call them.
Game calls them shurikens.
Yeah, game calls them shurikens. They, where was I going? Oh yeah, and then once you knock out all the, shadow clones, it's just him himself, and well, with power up, he dies in 2 hits. So yeah, that was actually a really good display of the quick kill. And that previous screen was pretty much the game's first introduction to you being able to alternate between the foreground and the background, which you can perform by simply performing a double jump. This screen is also where most new players tend to also get foil, because those doors that open, if you get caught in those doors, you will instantly die, no questions asked.
Easy, boss. Just walk into him and it's over.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty funny how that quick kill probably was discovered. I mean, that quick kill, I believe, was from before the time I picked up the game.
I think the guy who read most of the game actually just found it on a random glitch video. It was just showcasing some stuff.
Interesting. Right, so level 4, the junkyard. This is the first level where we're going to see a ninjutsu actually get used. Normally we do not actually want to use these ninjutsus. They take up a lot of time to actually load up. But in this case, here in this particular screen, which is inside this factory, we're going to be popping the Fushin ninjutsu, which allows the double jump, or allows the jump to be much higher, and the double jump window to be much, much more generous. Oh, but by the way, that's another sticking point with Revenge of Shinobi. Your double jump is not generous at all. Like, you can't short hop double jump, or you can't double jump out of a short hop and whatnot. Oh, by the way, yes, say hello to the Hulkinator.
Yeah, the Hulkinator.
Yeah, he gave, unfortunately, bad luck. He can choose between a car or the engine. You want the engine because it is much smaller projectile, and you're able to easily get some good hits on him with the engine. But BusterMan handled that just fine. And once again, you saw the Fushin ninjutsu be used there. That is also quite a bit faster to do that screen with it.
See if I can get this.
Yeah. So this screen is pretty awful. Those red cars you see BusterMan jumping over, they are a hazard that can hit you, and they do a ton of damage. So ideally, and I mean, this is a screen where you really do not want to get hit on, because the next boss coming up here is probably the hardest. Actually, it probably is the hardest quick kill in the game. It's called the truck, and we're gonna see if we can do the truck 2 cycle. All right, that's a good start.
I missed it. Went right through him.
Ah, damn.
It sucks. Oh well. Only like a 4-second difference.
4 seconds. Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you said 40. Anyways, yeah, that was kind of the idea.
I'm supposed to kill that guy first.
But that was the idea of the truck 2 cycle. Now,
okay, I made that.
Okay, good. So the Chinatown girl actually did give him a good pattern. You can actually hit that girl, and not actually take a hit to her main body or something like that. Lose a little bit of time. That was a clean Chinatown, actually.
Very clean.
Okay, so the train. This is actually one of the screens that BusterMan was able to find some interesting things. Some interesting, easier tech. Some tech to make this screen quite a bit easier. A little bit later on in this level, there's going to be those ninjas there, and they're going to pop out from above the screen, and usually if you try to double jump in order to dodge their ensuing projectiles after they land, you'll find yourself actually taking a hit from something up above the screen there. So it's pretty nice how BusterMan found out about this setup right here, this part right here.
Yeah, if you want to know what I contributed to this game, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Other than that, I just steal other people's struts. Haha.
You just learn from the best. That's how I look at it. All right, so this boss,
Spider-Man.
this boss is
And
Spider-Man and
Batman.
Yeah. So, yeah, Spider-Man is basically Batman. That's what that fight is all about. He morphs into Batman, and yeah, you can see why this version of the game got changed pretty quickly, because that was the first major change this game underwent. There are multiple versions of this game, and another big change is these Rambo knockups you see there, actually, with the flamethrowers. There are a number of other enemies and there's a number of other bosses that kind of also got changed and
Okay, I made it.
multiple different versions. Okay, good. Yeah, that jump is very scary.
There's
very scary jump.
there's actually a damage boost for that jump that we normally go for in runs, but too dangerous for a marathon.
Yeah, so I'm getting back though on the topic of the whole the bosses. Most of them were altered, ones that were questionable, but oddly enough, the Hulkinator actually remained intact for all versions of the game.
Yes. Okay. Can I get back up there? Oh, I can't. Okay, let's see how this goes.
Yeah. Well, you know probably what the backup strat is for the next fight, so...
Okay. Little hiccup. Yeah, we'll figure something out. It's just gonna take a minute.
I think probably you might want to pop Zuchi. That is the electrical shield.
Actually, I want to do this twice, and
yes.
we're gonna do this twice, and then I'll see what else I can do.
Actually, that's very smart, because using the Mujin tick... This is the Suicide Ninjutsu, by the way. We normally go for this strat if we don't have the power-up, but we need the lives to do it. Thankfully, BusterMan does have the lives. It is still a bit of a scary fight, because...
Okay, there we go! Oh, no.
That clutch.
Alright.
Clutch. Yeah. So you can see how much damage you do. So that's another major thing. The amount of health you start with is actually much lower. You upgrade your health bar progressively as more points accumulate. And that's also major, because there's like certain enemies that will one-shot you at the default health you start the game at. So you can imagine how scary that can be. Nice boost off of that grenade.
That used to be the standard.
That used to be the standard fast way to actually do that particular screen.
Normally now,
that's a pretty awful screen, especially if you mess it up completely.
Normally now I just use a sword on that guy, but I didn't have the power up, so I couldn't do it.
Alright, so the Labyrinth. This is the last section of the game before the final boss. It's pretty hard to know where you're supposed to go, but yeah, it's once you know where to go, it's actually a rather easy part of the speedrun. But there is one room in particular.
One right here.
This next room coming up here has some luck element to it. Hopefully.
Please.
Getting hit here is not...
Okay. No, I did get hit, but there's a box right here, so...
Yeah.
No need to panic.
Yeah, getting hit is not the worst thing. Ideally, though, you don't want to get knocked back. That's the major thing. Alright, so BusterMan is going to go with the standard kill. which is probably smart. There is a way to actually kill this guy without the shield, but it's very, very risky, and it involves, well, I mean, it's very easy to get hit by this guy's wide hitbox.
There we go.
Times, so.
Time ends when I lose control, so get ready on time. Time.
GG.
GG.
What's my time, RTA?
I'm trying to catch up with the stream here. Looks like you're going to be under 14 minutes here.
Looks like
right.
1354.
1354.
Not bad, not bad. I got 1348 SDA time.
Very nice.
Nice.
I'm pleased.
Yeah, that's a...
Only
that's
real
a good
hiccup was
result.
on 7-2 and then having to improvise for Godzilla. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that's kind of the nature of the speed run, though, is that once you do lose the power-up, you have to consider the backups. And usually that means throwing away your lives like candy. And that's also why the top runners also run on the hardest difficulty. Because, you know, on easier difficulties, you have those lives to spare, and it's you know, it's pretty easy to cheese your playthrough through, assuming you manage to maintain those lives in other difficulties. And yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty much it for the Revenge of Shinobi. I guess up next is Jim SR and Rohisak in Gunstar Heroes.
Just some quick shoutouts. Shoutouts to Base86 for routing most of this game. Shoutouts to Dagron for fine-tuning some things. And shoutouts to our Twitch team, Planet Chaos. Lots of good people. And just thanks for having me.
And thank you both for running and commentating. And like you said, we have Gunstar Heroes Co-op coming up next.